We're
We're
back.
following along our discussion with, again, noted author Will Hicks, and we wanted to try and arrange some interview so that we can get a better understanding and let him speak for himself to the American public on certain topics that are expressed in his book. And one of those subjects was projections and how we project things, how we perceive things, how we have. One of the things that was mentioned early on was a question of seeking the right values. Now, when we seek those values, we project some things to some people that are those people that we are closely aligned with that sometimes bring us heartache and sometimes bring us joy. One of those projections, Will, if you will, about your projections in relationships and how do those projections affect the average relationship between a man and a woman?
Well, I think most of us project things we don't know that we're projecting. I say that because a lot of things we learn as babies and kids, we learn unknowingly. And when we learn such things that we project from our parents, from our environment, from our community, from our churches, we learn out of habit, not knowing that we've picked up behavior from X, Y, Z. And our parents, in doing the best that they can, they teach us the best that they can, unknowingly teaching us errors and omissions. And then we pick up things from TV and books and other things, and we add to that.
In our last discussion, you talked about values. And the question came in over the line from a listener that is it fair to place your projections on others who may not share the same values as you do?
No, it's not fair, but as I said, we place projections. Your life is a projection. Your life is a mirror of what you see. It's a reflection of who you are, what you've learned or what you haven't learned. And from that point, we determine the have and the have-nots. And when you enter a relationship, you are showing off what you will learn or what you haven't learned, willingly, knowingly, and unknowingly. And that in certain things, most people have baggage, and we all, especially if you're a black person, you got some baggage. Because as I said, your parents don't know everything. Your communities are fragmented, so therefore there are a lot of things that we assume. There are a lot of things that we take on that we maybe shouldn't have, but we do. But that's the struggle we have as a people. And so a lot of those things we do reflect in our relationship. And so if you are in a household where you learn to keep things to yourself because you became fearful of, or you were afraid, or you learned to hide, or you learned to escape from certain topics, then when you get into a relationship, you are going to be who you are. If you learn a person that when you had to be strong and carry out things because you had to be responsible at an early age, and you don't take this off of this person to that person, you're going to reflect that in your relationship and how you project to people. So a lot of what you project is what you have learned at a young age, but as adults, we have a chance to change those things, but most of us don't change them. And therein lies the problem and the conflict.
Well, and something that struck me with this, and you were saying particularly concerning the black community and the projections that are placed on them. Are you saying that the Caucasian population has projections that are higher in terms of what they expect of people within relationships than the black community?
No, it's not higher. It's just different. For instance, in school, we're taught that Columbus discovered America. Okay, that's a lie. And it's a lie to white people and it's a lie to black people. But what does that lie do for each side? For white people, it gives them a sense of entitlement to this country. Not to saying, that, when they say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, we built this country, we built the railroads, we built all these things, and you're etched out of history. But on the black side, you're taught that, you're a slave, you come out of Africa in the bushes and all these things. But even though it's a lie to both sides, one projects pride and a thing of history and you pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, and on the other side is projecting a sense of servitude, a sense of, you need us to make it.
Yeah, hold on a second, Will. President Trump is trying to reach me here on the hotline. Okay.
I could pause for the call.
Yellow. Yellow.